Oh, that old man voice kills my throat. But water. Water is my savior! Welcome back to the arcade. I am still in prison, and I embarrassingly lost that Swindlestones game. After talking so much praise about how much I love it. Wait. You settle down to wait. Hours pass, but the guards do not return. Night falls, and you stretch out on the floor to rest. At least staying here will spare you the cost of an inn. You have already eaten today, and so you are quite comfortable. Soon you are feeling sleepy. Across the room, the old man is already dozing, or pretending to doze, wrapped in his rags. Can you afford to sleep? What if he attacks you overnight? Or what if the guards come? Stay awake. You sit up all night, but nothing happens. The guards are quite happy to leave you to rot, and the old man sleeps soundly. Strange thoughts besiege you in the night. You imagine the wall like a towering monster drenched in moss and slime. The gate, its wide open maw. Meanwhile, the one-armed prisoner throws knuckles of his missing hand onto the bench over and over, calling endlessly to himself. And it is as though you can see the crown sitting in the dust on the far side of the north gate. So close, and yet so out of reach. By morning, you are thoroughly exhausted. The next morning, sunrise comes eventually, and with it, the guards. They open the door and leave it propped without explanation. The old man is out in a flash, and you emerge behind him. At the main street, he turns right away from the barracks. Then he reaches another junction and turns right again. We need to check. We need to check this. The old man will actually steal stuff from us. Silver key, other items, Okay, weapons, magical items. It looks like we have everything. Treasure, yeah, we have everything, so he didn't steal anything. If you go to sleep, he steals something from you, I think. I can't remember right, though. At the end of the yard, the road splits. Looking left, you see the guard lined up in rows, running drills. Best not to head that way. To the right, the road leads towards the first buildings of Kar. You follow the road away from the yard, along the bottom of a cliff edge. Look up at the cliff. Kar is built on a series of natural steps. In the past, the river flooded every autumn, drenching the land and keeping it fertile. But since the city was raised and the river dammed, the floods have stopped. Now the trees look thin and skeletal, and the soil underfoot is like dust. Suddenly, something erupts from the tree line overhead and rolls down the slope just in front of you. It's a body! Approach. You approach carefully as the body, a black elf by the look of it, bumps and batters its way down the slope to land in a rough heap. Check it. You check the corpse. It is pretty clearly dead, though whether it was dead before being thrown down the cliffside is impossible to tell. Search it! You waste no time, but search the corpse pockets. There is no gold to be had, but it does have a strange black mask strapped to the back of its head. Take the mask. You unstrap the black face mask from the elf and slip it into your pack. There is nothing more to be done. You are too late to help after all. You continue along the path. You pass an inn, closed up for the daytime before reaching a crossroads. That black mask is going to be helpful in spells. I think it's, let's see, actually. Gak. Casting this spell while wearing a black face mask will create a terrible fear within another's mind. That's gonna be really useful. We can use that in battle a lot. You reach a junction where 3 roads begin. These are the outskirts of Kar. Huts huddled like beggars on either side of the tracks leading uphill into the city port. Pause to look around. It must be clear to everyone around that you are a stranger in these parts. The city's inhabitants, a multitude of malevolent creatures who would kill for the laces of your boots, turn to watch you as they pass, You are sport. A figure to be jostled and robbed, and one who will most likely fall prey to the strange, elaborate system of traps laid across Kar by the early settlers to protect themselves from one another. Look at the paths. There are more people here than you've seen in a long time. You cast an eye across the faces to see if any are Flanker, the assassin you met outside Torapani, your only friend in this city. You see no sign of the old man from the prison. He has scarpered away. Look left. To the left, you see a group of scruffy youngsters walking up to the road with packs on their backs. Look ahead. Ahead is the main road into the center of Kar, its surface ruddled from cartwheels. Further in the distance, you see fields. This is the route taken by supply wagons to the docks. Look right. To the right, you catch a glimpse of the old man disappearing into a hut a little further up the track. The business of this place is confusing, but you will have to simply strike out. The north gate awaits. Just at that moment, a cart rolls down the road from the right and careens around the corner to take the main track ahead. On its back are stacked several carts. One teeters for a moment, then falls near your feet, its lid cracking open. Look in the crate. Kneeling down in the mud, you prise open the crate with your fingers. Inside is a pile of smashed bottles. Thick purple liquid swirls about, littered with shards of glass. There are perhaps 4 bottles still intact, but you recognize the smell. It is Blimpberry, a potion with many healing properties. Take 4 bottles. This building here... I'm trying to remember. I think we get some really good stuff from here. You head right, following the old man until you reach the hut you saw him enter. It is the only building on this path that is still standing. Either side are empty plots. Once the house of the farmers who planted the fields to the north. They are now collapsed and thick with gripweed. It seems that here, in the shadow of the shitty wall, it is not a place people choose to live. It's a definitely shitty wall. Look at the remaining hut. By the side of the door to the hut is a sign, delicately painted, Chainmaker. The door is just a crack ajar, and from within you hear a gentle tinkling sound, metal on metal, as though a creature in a chainmail dress was endlessly pacing the floor. Listen at the door. You pause a moment longer and listen closely to the door, but there are no voices or footsteps from within, just the sound of chains. Make a move. The Chainmaker! You push open the hut door and enter. It is dark inside. The floor is sawdust and the air smells of oil, polish, and burnt metal. From the ceiling, hanging like ivy, are metal chains of all lengths and thickness, some suitable for machinery, some for oxen, and others for arms and feet. The chains shift and whisper to themselves. There seems to be no one here. No sign of the old man, although a second door is open in the far wall of the hut. Search the room. No shop owner in Kar should leave their wares unattended. You begin to carefully search the room, trying not to set the chains to rattling. Where should we go? Search along the left wall. You start searching near the left wall and come across a small box containing 3 gold pieces, which you take. Search along the right wall. A high cupboard is fixed to the right-hand wall. Inside, you find a glass container labeled in the same hand as a shop sign. Blimpberry juice, which you take. So now you have 5. Look near the door of the shop. As you move across the room, you stumble clumsily into a chain, and it begins to swing, hitting other chains on either side. The far door opens and a Sven, a man-orc from Torapani, appears, and it looks like he's angry. The Chainmaker growls fiercely and snatches up a particularly heavy length of metal, holding it like it was thread. Cast a spell. We can just burn him alive. That's what we're gonna do. Hot. That's what we need. I feel bad, but that's what we're gonna do. You cast the spell and hurl an enormous fireball at the Chainmaker. He incinerates into a pile of ash, surrounded by a pool of molten metal. With the chainmaker dead, you quickly look what he left behind and find 4 more gold pieces. On the way out of the shop, a silver chain catches your attention. Look at it. The silver chain is clearly enchanted. The ends seem to snap and bite at one another like amorous snakes. Is that how you say that word? Whatever. You may be able to use it in battle quite effectively. As you leave the shop, you can call a thank you to the chainmaker. You call a thank you to the chainmaker for the chain. Wishing his soul well. Oh, did we actually take it? Not that. I don't know. Did we? I don't see it. Treasure, maybe? No? Other items, maybe? We didn't take it? We did. Okay, whew. I was like, why did it call attention to that if we hadn't taken it? We need to go this way. The Festival of Thieves sucks. There's clearly nothing in this part of town. You turn about and head back downhill, intending to choose a different road into Car. Let's see here. It doesn't really matter, I guess. We'll go that way. You try the main road first, up a slight slope to reach a small settlement of poor huts. As you pass these homes, ugly creatures gather to watch you in silence. A little further on, you come across a body laying face down in the gutter. A beggar, asleep, or some sort of creature in a drunken stupor. Check if the creature's alive. You approach the limp body cautiously. Nobody in the street seems to be taking any notice. You bend down closer and shake the shoulder of the body. There is no response. Roll it over. You grip the body's arm and turn it over. As its face swings around, you jump back, aghast. The body is a semi-decayed corpse with a rotting head that is half a skull, half putrid flesh. And even worse, an evil smile is spreading across its face. A moment later, it has sprung to its feet, leaping at you. Draw my sword. Ugh, yikes. You draw your sword and inflict a quick blow. The blade lands deeper than you expect, slicing the corpse right down the middle. It collapses into a bloody mess of arms, legs, and head. But a moment later, the body parts have lifted from the ground to surround you, clawing, biting, kicking, and shoving. There's that. It's all nice and yummy. Fight! No! Oh, shit. Why do I keep misclicking? Oh, we don't want this. Fuck. Whatever. P-O-P? I don't have a pebble. Shit. Fog. No. It's not what we want. No, we don't want to do that either. No, go back. Gum? No. Ish. 6. What is that? Clone the caster? Rather not. Let's just fight the damn thing. Okay. Next time on Double Jump, we'll fight this disgusting zombie piece of shit. Bye!